That's right, it's time, baby. And here we go. This is January 16th, the day after Martin Luther King's real birthday, which is actually January 15th, not those other days that the federal government conveniently tries to have it on a different day. And they're going to be celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday on the 20th this year. Next Monday, when it's actually on the 15th. So go figure. All right, so I told you that I was going to get started on my contest this week. And I told you, so you know what you need to do in order to get that KP Video News Cup. So this is how it's gonna work. You as the viewers, what you need to do is you need to get in contact with your friends and have your friends subscribe to my page. When they subscribe to KP Video News, go into the comment section, write a comment, and put your name in it. You're the person that's referring them, so I want them to put the name of the person that they referred, that referred them into the comment section, and then the person that has the most comments and that has referred the most people to KP Video News will get the cup, and that's when I'll get in contact with you, get your name and address, and I'll send you one of the KP Video News cups. So we're gonna start with the cups this time, and then from there. Oh yeah, by the way, all the people that already got KP Video News cups, I'm sorry you can't participate in this contest. You already got yours, so it's time for somebody else to get theirs. So remember, have your people that you refer to KP Video News subscribe and comment, and when they put the comment in, put your name in there with the comment, and then I'll tally up how many people actually referred the largest amount of people, and then that's the person that's gonna win the cups here. Okay, all right, we're gonna get started. It's the prosecutor sues her own city under a law passed to fight the KKK. A battle between St. Louis's first African-American prosecutor and the city's largely white establishment escalated on Monday, with the prosecutor suing her opponents under a little-used federal law passed in the wake of the Civil War to stem violence of the Ku Klux Klan. Kimberly Gardner, the St. Louis circuit attorney, accused city officials, the local police union, and a special prosecutor who was investigating her of a racially motivated conspiracy to deny the civil rights of racial minorities by obstructing a government official's efforts to ensure equal justice under the law for all. Her lawsuit, filed in federal district court in St. Louis, follows what she describes as a coordinated campaign to block her efforts to crack down on police corruption and misconduct and institute much needed changes in the city's criminal justice system. She is in effect asking a federal judge to step inside the workings of the city and the local court system to stop her civil rights from being violated under the Constitution and the 1871 law commonly called the KKK Klan Act, which criminalizes efforts to re-enslave African Americans. More recently, the law has been wielded in a lawsuit against promoters of the 2017 White Power rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, accusing them of conspiracy to commit violence against a racial minority. Ms. Gardner has been at war with much of St. Louis police force and the local legal establishment since she was elected in 2016, 2 years after nearby Ferguson, Missouri erupted in protest over killing by a police officer. The St. Louis police force is mistrusted by many in the African American community, which makes up half of the city's population. She took several steps to make the police department more accountable, including creating a list of more than 50 officers who could not bring cases for prosecution to her office because of concerns over their credibility. She also indicted the state's governor at the time, Eric Greitens, who has been a rising star in national political Republican politics. And Ms. Gardner is being pursued by a special prosecutor, Jerry Carmody, who began investigating her in 2018 after Mr. Green's lawyers accused her of allowing the perjury of a former FBI agent who she hired to investigate the governor. Ms. Gardner has said that she did nothing wrong and that she corrected the former agent's errors as soon as she learned about them. She later dismissed the case against Mr. Greedens. In an interview, Ms. Gardner said that the lawsuit was about making sure she was allowed to implement the platform she was elected on. We're not going to let fear and injustice stop the reforms that are needed. Ms. Gardner said that this is also about continuing attacks on progressive prosecutors, not just in St. Louis, but around the country. As evidence of a conspiracy against Ms. Gardner, lawsuits notes that one of Mr. Greedens' chief defense lawyers is a longtime friend of Ms. Carmody, creating what she called a conflict of interest that made him an improper choice to investigate her. He was appointed by a state judge at the request of the city's police force after a complaint was filed by the governor's legal team. Mr. Carmody did not return a call seeking comment on the lawsuit. Mr. Joy, a law professor at Washington University in St. Louis, said although the KKK Act dates to the 19th century, it has been employed more recently, including the Civil Rights era, to stop Southern sheriffs from blocking African Americans from voting. So this is a battle that's going on down in Missouri, over there in St. Louis, and I hope she's able to be victorious here. And this is a story number 2. We have a black-owned contractor launches multi-million-dollar joint venture with major real estate developer. Philadelphia, Choate Contracting, a black-owned construction company firm based in Philadelphia, has officially announced its restructuring, which includes a new partnership team bringing more than 60 years of executive finance and marketing experience into the organization. This team has been pivotal in negotiating a newly formalized joint venture developed to manage and provide contracting services for numerous New York and New Jersey construction developments. Choate Lake PD was created between Choate Contracting and Lake Property Development, a venture comprised of Ruth Co. Corp. And KPL Projects Incorporated. This newly formed Choate Lake PD group will begin a listing of projects during the first quarter of 2020, ranging from commercial to multi-use and $24 million over $100 million in project development costs. This venture was months in the making, and we're excited and to officially kick off in 2020 with this announcement. Choate's Chief Strategy Officer, Ms. Holly Gleason, stated. Beginning with the multi-use development in Brooklyn, New York, Choate Lake PD will oversee both management and general contracting duties in developing high-end condos. Remember, I talked about that the other day, these high-end condominiums that are popping up in certain areas adjacent to minority areas. So the money is not really being directed. This is a little bit of inclusion, but at the same time, we still have to keep our eyes open. And on to the next story. And story number 3, feel-good story here. So wrongfully convicted man graduates from college after 5 years on death row. Ryan Matthews from Texas was just 17 years old when he was accused of a crime he didn't commit. He later spent 5 years on death row, but was later exonerated and released. Now, at 39 years old, he is celebrating being a college graduate. What happened? In April 1997, Matthews was believed to be the culprit in a fatal shooting of a 43-year-old businessman who was white. Throughout the trial, he maintained his innocence, and there was really no evidence linking him to the crime, but he was still found guilty by 11 white jurors and 1 black juror. He was sentenced to death at the age of 19. Activists and his family fought for his freedom. DNA evidence eventually proved his innocence, and the real killer finally confessed. After 5 years on death row, he was exonerated and released in 2004. All these years ago, when I first came home, a reporter asked me what I wanted to do, and I told him I wanted to go to school, Matthews said. And he did just that. He enrolled at TWU in Denton, Texas, where he was recently graduated with a bachelor's degree in applied arts and science. Inspired by his story, his sister and 71-year-old mother followed suit and also continued studying. So I decided to go back and pursue my PhD because hopefully I'll be able to do some legislative work and get some of the wrongfully convicted and reintegration legislation passed, said Monique Coleman Matthews' sister. Pauline Matthews, their mother, is proud of what they've accomplished. Moreover, Ryan plans to pursue graduate school to focus on business, but he admitted he still feels better about his past sometimes. I am because of what happened, but I can't because it would stop me from moving forward. I'm trying to be the best that I can be, he said. So that's going from death row to a college graduate with a bachelor's degree. And so hey, anything's possible. You just got to get out there and do what you got to do and keep your eyes on the prize. Yep, keep your eyes on the prize and don't allow these people to people to just keep you down and everything. So hey, feel good story of the day. All right, get started on those referrals and those subscriptions, and don't forget to tell the person that you refer to mention your name in the comments on the comments page. Put in a comment and mention your name, and I'm gonna tally them up, and then I'll get in contact with you and we'll take it from there. All right. The contest is on.
KP's Video News.
KP Video News Cup. Tasty